In Mahapatran's form, today we are back in the world of books. When I started this video series, once in a month at least, I used to bring to you the information on books to read. I made a video series on how to pick up books, how to pick up formats of books, and how to read them. This second wave of COVID has put us back into the world of books. As we confine ourselves, we are in the lookout for good books which will give us that pleasure of knowledge, of expanding our horizons. As you know, I do a video series and I speak widely in the public circuit, and I had to read as part of my requirement to keep me abreast of things that are happening. But today I have chosen non-fiction. Probably next episode I'll do on fiction. I have chosen 5 books, and these 5 books are from a variety of subjects. The first one is the Book of Indian Essays. Essays, as all of us have seen right from our childhood, when in our school days we were taught English prose, the essays by Francis Bacon, William Hazlitt, George Orwell, Bertrand Russell, Ralph Waldo Emerson, all these shaped our childhood. And essays is one of my favorite approach, because they give you in a capsule knowledge, research, worldview of the authors. Now this Book of Indian Essays, as compared to the global essays that all of us have read, has been compiled by Arvind Krishna Mehrotra, who is a poet himself, essayist himself. He has done a tremendous job of collecting 45 of best essays in the last 2 centuries, because the title of the book is the Book of Indian Essays, 200 Years of English Prose. So it starts in early 19th century with some Anglo-Indian writers writing about India, and has gone forward with Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay to Jawaharlal Nehru, modern day writers like Santaraju, come to Ramchandra Guha, to Amitav Ghosh, Pankaj Mishra, a variety of subjects. This book is priced at 699 rupees, but it is available for 450 to 500 rupees online. The second book that we are going to take today is India's World. India's World is a book on India's foreign policy in different generations. This is written by Rajiv Dogra, who is one of our distinguished diplomats. He has been our ambassador to 2 countries, and also he has been in the India's permanent mission to the United Nations. He is one of our leading and foremost strategic thinkers and foreign policy advisors. He himself writes also fiction. In this, he has taken a totally different approach, and that is what attracted me to this book. He has told how prime ministers shaped foreign policy. The chapter headings are very enticing. It says Jawaharlal Nehru, Gandhi's choice; Lal Bahadur Shastri, no small man; Indira Gandhi, a goddess emerges; Rajiv Gandhi, India's reluctant prince; Narasimha Rao, the real Chanakya; Atal Bihari Vajpayee, poet, politician and patriot; Manmohan Singh, will history be kinder; Narendra Modi, the rule maker. Full of personal anecdotes as compared to domestic policy and stance and vision and articulation of Prime Minister. The foreign policy is a totally different ball game. They operate through diplomats, they operate through foreign minister, but the stamp of the personality of the Prime Minister, which intertwines into bringing together the country's stance before the world, is so well described in this book. Again, I have read about 3/4 of this book, but I recommend this book, India's World, How Prime Ministers Shaped Foreign Policy, by Rajiv Dogra, priced at 595, again available online freely for around 400-450 bucks. The third book that I want to recommend to you today is a travelogue. Travelogues have always attracted me enormously, because it gives you the adventurous spirit. It also draws you out of your comfort zone of moving in familiar territories. It gives you hints as to how the author has coped with the unknown areas, have tried to understand the mechanics of the people, of the country, of the culture. So this book is The Great Ride of China. It's written by an American called Buck Perley, who, along with his wife, Amy Mathieson, who is a British national, toured about 30,000 kilometers all around China on a motorcycle. And this is a Chinese-made motorcycle. The photographs that are available as a download through a QR code makes the book much more interesting. The encounters with the police, the encounter of Tibetan people with Manchurian people, encounter with other motorcyclists, encounter with snowstorms, encounter with licensing authorities, having a camp life, talking to people who are rural and who are living in the hills. And the day-to-day interactions are autobiographical, bringing together pieces and nuggets of very bright anecdotes through the excursion of China, which is a vast country. It makes it eminently readable. The Great Ride of China. This is unfortunately, this book was gifted to me by somebody. I can see that this was gifted to me as soon as it was made available in 2017. I think in the early 18 this was gifted to me. I saw this book in bookstores, but today it is not available online, but it is available on Kindle as an e-book, or you can look at your neighborhood bookstores and you can order it, but it is a book worth having it, worth reading it. The next book is again on a totally different subject. It is on food. It is called The Third Plate by an author called Dan Barber. This book became hugely popular last year in USA as well as in UK. Dan Barber, who was initially a chef, knew food inside out. The eating habits and the sustainability of our eating over a period of time is the subject. He has visited restaurants, he has talked to culinary experts, he has talked to nutritionists, he has talked to scientists, he has also delved deep into his own experience of making and serving food as the owner of a hotel chain. And essentially what he says is that food can be divided into food coming from soil, food coming from land, food coming from water, and food coming from seeds. Food as a subject which is so essential to human survival, in a very interesting anecdotal way that we should be looking at food. The last book today I want to recommend to you is on Indian music. This book is called Finding the Raaga. Finding the Raaga is written by Amit Chaudhary. Its subtitle is An Improvisation on Indian Music. Amit Chaudhary is a professor of English literature. He himself has written more than half a dozen novels. He is a good essayist. He teaches in an American university. He also teaches in Ashoka University. He has many achievements, including Sahitya Academy Award and the American Literary Award. But starting as a child, where his mother was learning Hindustani classical music from a Rajasthani-based guru, and he himself acquiring these tastes, he has written this book which I found very interesting. It is not a regular musical theory book, and it has two sections. The first section is known as the Alap, and the second section is known as the Modernism and the Khayal. He makes very great comparisons between how music in India is essentially a dialogue between self, the music itself, and the audience. For example, there are many pages which are devoted to Vilambit Ektal as an exposition of the essence of a raga, how dialects, how devotional music, how folk music, how tribal music, how the masters themselves, the master's mother tongue, jazz music, Western music, the tradition of listening the music, educative and entertainingly told book about Indian music. I strongly recommend this, Finding the Raaga by Amit Chaudhary. Again, this is available in India, 499 rupees is the printed price. Enjoy non-fiction, because in times like this, we must understand that understanding the story of a non-story is equally important. Thank you very much.